Tim with Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio, and welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Alright, we are on a GE dryer that is making a little bit of noise. So we're going to put it on the time cycle and hit start. We do have a load of clothes in there. We can definitely hear some rubbing. And it's starting to shake a little bit. And it's a little interesting when we turn it off, the way that it stops. So we're going to open this guy up and inspect all the components and see what we're looking at. The tools you'll need for this repair are a 5/16 nut driver or socket and a T20 Torx bit. Alright, we're going to begin to disassemble our machine to do our inspections, and there are 4 Torx bits, T20 to release the lid. So once those are off, we can actually lift open the lid. There are 2 bolts up top and then 2 on the bottom that just need to be loosened so that we can remove the front. So we're going to start by taking the two mounting bolts off on the side, and they're 5/16. We have unplugged our unit. Now with those off, we're going to go to the bottom and just loosen the bolts so that we can release the front of our cabinet. So with those loosened, our cabinet will be free just as soon as we have our one switch on here with 3 wires going to it, and it's the door switch. So we'll just take note of where the wires are and take them off for right now. There's also 2 going to the light bulb. And once those are released, we can separate the door. Alright, now we're going to take off the belt. One thing you can do is take that bolt off to give you a little bit of play, not much. And all of this is just getting in there and doing it. So we're gonna try to make a little bit of room and release the idler pulley and take the belt off. Now our drum will slide out. And we can fully remove it. As we're doing our inspection, this is where the drum will ride on, and we can see that this glide is broken and really thin. There's the same exact glide on the other side, and the glide is completely gone. And so that is definitely going to cause the rumbling sound that we heard. One other thing to inspect on the GE dryer is the rear bearing, and that is this guy. The things that we want to look for is that the outer bearing does move and also doesn't come off. So that all looks good. The part that this goes into, while it normally isn't bad, it's just good to look at. It's in the rear of the dryer, and it is one part that can be lubricated with high temperature grease to keep it running properly. So on our rumbling GE dryer, what we're going to do is replace the both slide assemblies. We'll follow the instructions, which include lubricating the felt and lubricating the rear bearing, clean it all up, and we'll be all set. Nice quiet dryer. Alright, so we have a little high temperature grease, and we're just gonna put a little on the outside of the bearing, and in this little crook here we'll kind of work it in like a wheel bearing just to get a little bit of lubrication on there. It's really about the only place you should lubricate anything on a dryer, because it just attracts grease, or attracts dust, but it will be completely encased and make it last longer. Alright, so we're just adding just a little bit of the rest of our high temperature grease just in the wheel, or in the rear bearing slot. And now we're going to reassemble our dryer, and we'll get the drum back into position. Slide it into the back slot. Oh, it's always a little higher than you'd think. There we go. Now we'll put the belt back around it. Rib side down. There's always a little mark on the drum if you're wondering if you're in the right spot. And this is worse than taking it off, but lift up on the drum to get your arm in there. Get it around the idler pulley and on the motor pulley, and we'll get our arm out and everything's attached. Now to put the front back on, we still have our screws at the bottom that we just loosened, and we will line up the front part of the cabinet with those. Line up both sides and tighten everything down. The only thing we'll have left is to make our electronic connections to the door switch and the light bulb. So we'll put those in there right now. The light bulb has two connections in there. Well, you can't mess them up because the terminals are different sizes. And the door switch does have one different terminal size. Make sure you get them on the right one. The other two you can't mess up. So all of that is in there. Now we will tighten up the bottom two. And then we just have our 4 Torx bits on the top. We'll line up the cabinet. There's 4 little posts to make sure you get it in the right spot. And with those down, just have our 4 Torx bits left. So we will put those in to secure the lid to the cabinet, or to the front door. And we are all set. Thank you for watching another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.